The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the Weymouth Community Access staff or its board of directors. WCA, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent member-produced public access programming.
She just had the greatest time, and here we are chatting. Okay, so Alexis has been with me for forever. Tell us about you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fabulous.
Alexis Levitt,
Yes.
attorney at law,
Yes.
but do estate planning for seniors. Am I right in
Correct. Elder law,
that? Elder law,
estate planning,
estate planning,
and special needs planning.
and special needs. Now
Yes.
that I didn't, and I have a special, well, my daughter's totally deaf, but she, you know, works for Commissioner Deaf and Hard of Hearing and all. But what do you mean special needs?
So when we say special needs planning, sort of under the estate planning umbrella, we're talking about parents who have a special needs child and setting up their inheritance plan the right way
Yes.
so that the special needs child inherits everything they need, but in a way that does not threaten any public benefits.
Excellent.
Their mass health, their SSI, any
If they're on
housing.
and all that.
Right, right.
We should tell people you're in Norwell,
Yes.
and where? Where in Norwell?
So on Washington Street, a little bit below Grove Street.
Where the fence is? Fence place?
Oh, yes, right before that. Yep, there's a big blue sign. This is what I say to everybody. There's a big blue sign out front, 167 Washington Street, the Norwell Executive Center. You've been driving by it your whole life and you never noticed it.
No, I never did.
I know,
I've been
that's-
driving by. My grandsons grew up in Norwell.
Right, everybody, we all drive by it and don't notice it until you have to go to that building and suddenly that building is there.
And
It's
so
just
you're
this
in
funny
that
thing.
building?
Yes.
And where? Like first floor, second, third?
Oh, we're on the first floor because we have a lot of elderly clients or disabled clients who need to be able to just come right to us, just right down the hallway on the first floor.
You're open every day?
Yes, we are.
And you have a secretary, I know Doreen,
Yes, she's wonderful.
and another lawyer with
Another
you?
lawyer, Elizabeth.
Isn't that something? And so what do you do? They make an appointment, obviously.
So anybody, and we have our paralegal, Christina. So,
And what's a paralegal?
Oh, an
Is she a lawyer?
indispensable person. No, she's not a lawyer, but she's, I guess you could say she's like almost a lawyer. Paralegals at different law firms do different things. So what our paralegal does is a lot of our drafting, a lot of figuring out how to tweak paragraphs. Does this client need something else? Is there something we haven't thought of? But a lot of the writing.
You go to school for that, right?
Yes, yes. And then a lot of on-the-job training, just learning life experience.
So you got a full crew.
Yes, we do. We do.
And what does Doreen look like? I've only heard her voice.
Oh, she's
Bright, beloved,
all
beautiful.
smiles and apple pie.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
And who wouldn't be working with you? So you're a special lawyer. So tell us what happens. They make an appointment?
So if somebody would like to meet with us, a lot of people find out about us through referrals, through friends, through neighbors, through former clients, through other professionals. There's our website where people can really learn a lot about us and learn a lot about their questions too, answers to a lot of questions within the website. And so then they will call and Doreen will answer the phone and schedule an appointment. And there's a little bit of homework involved. We mail out a checklist and we ask people to bring things with them. So,
Oh, good. What things?
So people will bring like bank statements, their retirement statements, if they've done any like wills or healthcare proxies in the past, if they have a copy of the deed to their house, they'll bring that all with them to the first meeting. And the reason we do that is the more information I have all at once, the better answers I can give you right there on the spot.
So they, husband and wife or widowed or?
Oh, all sorts of permutations. Yes, we get younger married people. When I say younger, 60 and over is our sort of ballpark. That's who we really like and are good at helping, 60 and over. So we might get younger couples, older couples, single people, widowed people, divorced people, somebody with 1 kid, someone with 8 kids.
Is it traumatic for them?
To come into the lawyer's office and do this work?
Yeah.
No,
it take
it's
time?
not. I'm sorry?
Time.
It's time. I think the hardest part is, and this is true with a lot of things in life, is making the decision to go.
It's a decision you have to make?
I find, and I'm the same way. I don't want to go to my doctor. I don't want to go see my accountant. You have to sort of rev yourself up and get yourself to a place where I am ready to do this. And it's not scary. I just understand that that's a very natural response that people have. So once they decide to come to see us, they come in that checklist, we mail them, and they bring all sorts of documents with them. And we have a 2-hour planning session.
2 hours?
2 hours, yes. Sometimes a little less.
Yeah, offer coffee?
We've got coffee, we've got tea, we've got chocolate. We're big on chocolate.
Oh my God, I have
big
to go.
On chocolate.
I love chocolate.
You come stop by and sample our chocolate.
I'll fill up my bag.
Yes. So they come for the planning session, and we go. I ask them a lot of nosy questions, and that's what I call it. Very nosy questions about your family tree, about any special needs kids, any kids who don't talk to you. Is anybody a veteran? What's your income? What are all of your assets? We figure everything out, and then of course,
like a doctor, you know everything.
And I know everything. Yeah, it's very nosy questions, and then and of course, what we start with is what brought you here. What is this family really looking for?
And so, what are they looking for? A lot of different things?
A lot of different things, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And some people will come just to get their ducks in a row, just because they know estate planning is something I should do. Some people will come because something's happening. My mother is in a nursing home. My husband is in a nursing home. Or
you have a handicapped child or special needs.
Right.
Special needs.
Right. And then some people, there's not a crisis, but they see the writing on the wall. So my husband, my mother is still at home with dementia, and we're all starting to get really tired, and we need to know what the next step is for care. So people will come in with a range of
because who do I
questions.
go to? What do I do? What's
who do I go to, and what do I do?
Do you have the answers?
I have a lot of the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of the answers. And so what I don't have is a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Crystal ball would be really nice. If I knew exactly how long we all were going to live, I'd be able to say exactly, here's how our plan will play out. So instead what I do is I put together a plan that has pathways in it. I set up a plan for people that if life takes you this way, our plan will work. If life takes you this way, our plan will work. If life takes you this way, our plan will work. So you really want any plan you put in place to have sort of avenues built into it, so you have flexibility, so it'll work.
And does it work with 1 visit or 5 visits? Or?
No, so what people will do, so they'll come to that planning session, they'll tell me what's going on in their lives, I ask all the nosy questions, and then I figure out, by the end of the 2 hours, we figured out, okay, here's what you need me to do, and then we do it. So let's say what I have figured out. For example, let's say I figured out you need, let's see, maybe a revocable trust.
What's that?
We could spend an hour just talking about those.
Okay.
So let's say I figured out, okay, you need a revocable trust. You need an irrevocable trust so we can get you on veterans benefits. You need a healthcare proxy, power of attorney, and a will. So if I figured that out by the end of the 2 hours, then I will be able to teach the people, here's why we need these documents. And so the healthcare proxy, I'll teach them, it's going to help make sure other people are empowered to make your healthcare decisions for you if you need them to. Your power of attorney is going to empower someone else in your life to handle your money if you need them to.
Is that you, the power
Oh,
attorney?
no.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be whoever they pick,
quick.
and usually it's a spouse or children.
Yes.
Usually. It can be anybody, but usually that's who people pick. And I'll explain to them and teach them, so your irrevocable trust is going to help you qualify for veterans benefits. And we want you to get on veterans benefits because part of what you told me is that my father's a veteran and he's starting to need more help every day. So we're going to get you we're going to use this irrevocable trust to get him veterans benefits, meaning we'll get a home health aid for him. And now he's got more help at home and he can stay at home longer, I should say. He can stay at home longer. So, and then let's say the other thing I realize they need is a revocable trust, and we'll do that usually for inheritance purposes, and I'll explain what that's about. And so again, your question was, what's the process that people go through with our office? So by the end of the planning session, I figured out you need these things, and explained why, and share what the fee would be, and then people over the next week or two will pay the fee and hire us, and then we get going, and then we put all these documents together for people.
Do you charge for the first visit?
Yes.
You do? All right.
I do. And so some lawyers don't.
I would think after 2 hours you're entitled to something.
Right. So some lawyers will do like a 15-minute free consult. I don't do that. I do 2 hours. You come in, we're going to sit here and we're going to work for 2 hours, and we're going to figure it all out in these 2 hours. And we're going to put a plan in place during these 2 hours.
So if they hire you.
Yes, and then they hire us.
And then what happens next?
So then what we do is, so in that example, there's a lot of estate planning documents that we're going to write for them. So we do the writing, and sort of how I write them is dictated by all those nosy questions I asked during the planning session. And then we send out drafts to people, and we say, please proofread, and I say
drafts to the people that have come in.
To the clients, yep, to the family. And I say, you're welcome to read the legal paragraphs. However, I don't recommend it. You'll fall asleep. I really ask people to proofread where they see their names to make sure we've got everyone in the right order, et
Now,
cetera.
Alexis, you said like maybe veterans help. Do you
Yes.
do the one to call the veterans?
So what I'll do, my job is to spot that they could use veterans help and that they qualify. A lot of veterans know certain programs that the VA offers, but not about the one that will help you bring home health aides into your house. It's a very well kept secret. So my job for veterans in particular is to as I'm asking all my nosy questions, to realize that they're entitled and would qualify. And then I write the trust, because you have to move the money over to make the whole thing work, and I'm not going to explain it. It's kind of a silly thing we do.
It's intense.
It's intense,
And does that mean the special needs? Well, you're good for that.
So for veterans, so realize that they need it. That they qualify for it's called aid and attendance, the aid and attendance program. So my job is to realize that they qualify for the aid and attendance and let them know, because again, it's a very well kept secret. Veterans don't know about this. And then write the trust that helps move things along so that they will qualify for aid and attendance. And then the actual application, I think this is what you were asking, to actually fill out all the paperwork with the VA to apply for aid and attendance. I don't do that. I send people to the, I'm blanking on the name, the DAV, Disabled American Veterans. So it's a private organization, it's a nonprofit, it's downtown, and they are wonderful at putting these applications together. They're very, very good. Filling out the application for aid and attendance, submitting it, and then following it through. Because as you can imagine, these applications can get lost within the VA system. So the DAV, Disabled American Veterans, they're very good at following that application through and making sure it gets processed by the VA.
And then they leave. You send them off, but you're...
So then what happens, so families, I have figured out, okay, you would qualify for aid and attendance, and if we get you that aid and attendance money, you'll be able to hire home health aides and stay at home for longer. right? Because you can imagine if you're older and you have mobility issues or dementia, you need people, you need help at home to be able to stay at home.
Yes.
So if we can get people onto aid and attendance, they now have some money to hire home health aides, bring home health aides in, and can stay at home for longer. That's the game plan. We are always trying to help people.
It's easier, isn't it, nowadays? I mean,
to stay at home?
Yes, or is it harder?
It's in between. So the goal for most people is to stay at home. And the goal for most families is to keep their elders at home and to keep their disabled siblings, children, etc. at home. But you can't do it alone. You need help.
Yes.
So where does the help come from? So you can privately pay. We have lots of home health aid agencies, and
that's a lot of money, isn't it?
But it's a lot of money. But we do have wonderful home health aid agencies on the South Shore, and you can privately pay to bring help into your home. So a lot of people that I've met are comfortable doing that because they see the value. But they're so afraid that if I keep doing this, if I keep writing these checks, I'm going to run out of money.
Yes.
And then not be able to stay at home anymore. So my job really is to help people, figure out if people qualify for public benefits for home health aides. So there's Mass Health, which is Medicaid, and there's the VA, which is aid and attendance. So if I can get you onto, let's say, Mass Health, and they'll send in home health aides several hours a week, you're probably still going to have your private home health aides too, but now you've got all the hours of the week that you need instead of just some of the hours. And that way, because we can, in this example, because we're not using your private money to hire a whole week worth of home health aides. Let's say Mass Health gives you 3 days, and now you're only paying for 2, instead of you paying for 5, right?
Yes.
So now what we've done is we've slowed down the burn rate on your assets. So now you should be able to stretch out your assets and stay at home for longer. That's really what we're doing.
Yes. And how long? I mean, as long as we can.
So this is where my crystal ball would be really handy.
Yes. So how can you deal with that?
You just make the best decision you can with the information you have at this time. So if someone says, I've got this much money, this is my income, and I'm a veteran, then I can see, well, this much money, you're going to burn through it if we keep paying the home health aides every month. But if, let's say, we could get you the veterans benefits to pay, let's say, half of the week, and now you can privately pay half of the week, well, now you can stay at home much longer. So how long? We don't know how much, if we're going to need more care over the years.
Die. I mean,
we don't know when we're going to die. So we do the best planning we can with the information we have at the time.
And it's like, where is my crystal ball? Because you
Yes.
you get different scenarios all the time, or basically this is what people.
Well, different scenarios all the time, but for a lot of people, it boils down to how do I stretch my assets out so I can keep myself at home for longer.
And how should people work that when they're when they're younger? Is there a particular way to have a better job, a better benefits, or something that will help?
So that's where working with your financial advisor for a younger person, working with the financial advisor is the way to go, because they'll help you really project how many more years should we be working, what kind of investment should we be in, et cetera, because financial advisors, they do run the numbers of we're going to
My sister just met with her financial advisor for 2 hours.
Yeah, good. And so they run numbers, and everything's an estimate and everything's an educated guess, but we're going to guess that you're going to need, this much money when you retire. So what decisions should we make now while you're still working to get you to that amount?
And what if you have a special needs child? Where does that come in?
So if you have a special needs child, there's lots of things.
Or an adult?
Right, a special needs adult child. So there's a lot to think about. So the parts that I help people think about are primarily setting up the parents' estate plan so that that child inherits, but in a way that does not threaten her public benefits. So a lot of special needs adults, not all special needs adults, but a lot of special needs adults are on Medicaid, Mass Health for their health insurance, SSI, which is a Social Security income program. It gives you a little bit of up to about $900-ish a month. There's housing. And once you're in housing, of course, that's your friends, your social circle,
Yes.
right? So let me back up. So to be on these programs, the individual herself can only have $2,000 in the bank. So it's brutal, it's horrible, that needs to change. In New York, the number is 10,000. So here it's 2,000.
How do you do that? What, do you have to do it by political?
By political,
Yeah.
yes. So $2,000 to be a disabled person and have your Mass Health, et cetera. So parents, they already know if they have an adult special needs child on benefits, parents are already helping with rides to doctor's appointments, being the advocate at the doctor's appointment, extra grocery shopping, clothing shopping. You know, parents are already contributing financially and in terms of their time and their effort. So my job is to help parents set up their estate plan so that when they die, that child will inherit money, because she's still going to need the shopping for those things I listed off. She's still going to need an advocate. She's still going to need rides to the doctor's office, etc. So it comes from money, as most things in this world do. So we want to make sure the parents can leave an inheritance to the daughter. But remember, she can only have $2,000 of her own. So we put the inheritance in what we call a special needs trust.
I would think so.
Yes. So there are still families who come to me saying, well, we're just going to leave everything to her brother and her brother will take care of her. And so that's sort of
the wrong thing to do.
It's the wrong thing to do. And that brother might be an absolute peach. He might be a gem.
What if he marries somebody who says, I'm not going to give her anymore, or I'm not going to give him anymore?
Right. Or what happens if somebody sues him?
Ooh.
All that money is his. They don't care that it's for his sister.
Yes.
So,
that would be foolish move.
Yes, so that's why we put money. We don't give it all to him and know that he'll just take care of his sister. We give the sister whatever amount it is the parents want her to have within a special needs trust. And so Congress is the original author of the Medicaid rules. So Congress is the one that said you can only have $2,000.
I wonder if they live on $2,000 or if they're making big bucks there.
And then Congress figured out you can't really live on $2,000. So instead of lifting that number, they said, well, we're going to just tell people they can put their money in a special needs trust. So you can have all the money you want. You can have $1 million in a special needs trust. You can have any amount in a special needs trust as long as in your own bank account you have $2,000.
So you hide the money.
It's not really hiding it, because
you can have it, so you can have it out there,
Yes,
but that trust.
A special needs trust.
How do you feel about that? Do you think that was a good way to go, or? I suppose you could have all your money you want in the other place, but kept 2,000 there.
Yeah, that's a much longer conversation about how our country designs its public benefits and treats our frail elders and our disabled.
Horrible.
Correct.
Yes, I'll say it.
Yes.
Horrible.
So we are, I will say, Massachusetts is one of the best states in the country when it comes to the services we provide, but we still, I think, fall short. So there are advocates working on improving how we do public benefits in this country and in Massachusetts. It's a labor of love and a work in progress. So all I can talk about is really what the landscape is right now, what the rules are now, and how I can help families with the rules now.
Isn't that wonderful that you're there? Are you busy? Everybody in the world should go to you. I mean, what else do you do? No, but what else can you need somebody like you, an advocate, somebody who knows what's going on in the system. Veterans, how do we know that?
Right, just like I don't know what to do with my car. I just take it down to the shop and
I go
say,
to Charles, right,
Right.
near you, car services. He's the only one to see, and you're right across.
Oh,
I've
good.
used him for years. He's safe, he's dependable, and his price is wonderful.
Oh, good.
He's excellent, car services.
Okay, I will keep that in
Okay,
mind. Yeah.
and I love him. That's all I would ever go to, and he's wonderful. So he couldn't tell me about what you tell me.
No, that's what you're saying. So people need to come to somebody like me to understand, like, what is the lay of the land and what are my options
Yes.
as I get older or as I help take care of a special needs child. So yes, just like I don't know what to do with my car other than drive it down the
Yeah.
road. So I take it down to Planet Subaru is where I go.
Okay.
And I just say, here you go. You tell me
Yes.
what to do.
Yeah, well, I
Yes.
drive it down to Charles, and I said, this
Yes.
isn't working, and that's it.
Yep.
Because I have confidence in him, and I've checked him out, and I believe in him, just like people have to believe in you.
Right.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, goodness. I will tell you, Maya, my oldest,
I
is,
love that name.
She's turning 17, which means I've been doing this for 18 years.
18,
Yes.
Maya, how do you spell Maya?
M-A-Y-A.
M-A-Y-A, what a
Yes.
great name. I
Yes.
would have stolen that had I known about that name. M-A-Y-A.
Yes, so it's not really a brilliant way to start off your career is to have only a year before you have a baby, but I did it.
Well, your husband is working too,
Yes.
and your
So,
son is Noah.
son is Noah.
He said, I like it other when they say Noah's Ark.
Yes, and you have a Noah, so you're very
Yes,
partial to
and
the name.
I think he's a wonderful. So you are a businesswoman living in the town. You live in the community.
Yes, yep. So, yes. So right here on the South Shore, live in the South Shore, work on the South Shore, play on the South Shore. I love the South Shore. I
And you
always think,
open
why
every
does
day?
anybody live anywhere
Where
else?
I agree. And you open Monday through Friday? Is
Monday
that?
through Friday, we will answer our phones. Yes.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yes.
Doreen says, this is Doreen for this and
Yes.
this and this.
Yes.
Check one.
Yes.
And for you, check another. And now you're a lawyer.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Elizabeth is our new lawyer.
Now,
Yes.
will she help you? Will she take clients? Or she's
She
training?
will. She's getting there. Yes. We're training her. We're teaching her everything, and she's learning very quickly.
How long have you been a lawyer?
Oh goodness.
Did you always want to be a lawyer?
No. God, no. 21 years.
What made you do that?
What made me do it?
No, what made you, or what turned you towards that?
No, it's so I was doing environmental work all through really high school and college and graduate school, and I said, I need a law degree to be able to really do what I want to do.
Yes.
So I went to Vermont Law School, #1 environmental law school in the country, to do environmental. Anyway, got out, got a job, and I said, I don't like this. And I found my way to elder law, which I love.
Isn't that, and I love you, you've come on so many times.
It is so much fun to be here, and you do such a service for everybody, teaching your neighborhood.
The services, if they call you and they say, I'm coming.
Yes.
Because you're so good at what you do, and it's so important to do this. So important. Because you're lost without it, and you have to do it. It isn't fair to your children, or whoever you're leaving your money
Right.
to not have this done.
Right. We can make things much better if you come see a lawyer to set up your estate plan. If you don't set up your estate plan, your stuff will eventually get to your family. It'll just be a lot uglier and messier.
A lot uglier and messier.
Yes.
Much
So you
uglier
come
and
see
messier.
an elder law attorney, an estate planning attorney. We'll put a plan in place to make that inheritance process much
Not
easier.
just any elder law. You. Alexis Levitt, what's your phone number?
781
Yep.
740
Yes.
7269.
And Doreen is lovely. She'll tell you where to go to press which
Yes.
button and connect you.
And we have a website with a lot of information,
good.
so people can learn a lot
And what does
there.
that say? How do you get on
So
that?
it's just my name. It's alexislevitt.com.
How lovely. Since I'm so illiterate and all that stuff, my kids are sick of it. I think it's wonderful that you do that. And I think you're terrific. I think you
you.
live in the community, you have a family. I just think that is lovely, and you know what you're doing. And all those years of expertise.
And I love it.
And you love it.
Oh,
you
I
love
what
you
I
do.
Yes.
That's the only criteria you need to know.
Yeah.
And you're a woman.
There's that.
I think I think it's marvelous. And I have to go.
Okay.
Bye-bye for now.